In this video, I'm going to be taking you along as I write a song or I complete the songwriting process or hopefully get close to finishing the songwriting process for a new song that I'm working on at the moment. But if you're here for the very first time or you don't know who I am or what this is, my name is Pete and this is Studio Live Today, where my passion is helping you create, record and release your best music. And I do that through doing that myself. So what I've been doing is over the last few years, I've been writing, recording and releasing my own songs, and I've been learning as I go about how to record in the home studio and in the mobile studio and how to get the best possible recordings when you're on a budget and when you want an affordable setup in the home studio. So that is what I'm all about. Now, what are we going to go through today? Well, in this video, the first 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of where we're at the moment, why I'm doing this process, why I'm actually doing a live songwriting session here on YouTube, and why you should do, if not the same, then something similar. So we'll talk about that quickly. Now, if you're here live, feel free to throw suggestions at me and let me know your comments, your ideas, what's working, what's not working. Let me know, and you can throw those in the chat as we go along, and I'll be jumping in from time to time to check in on what folks have to say. If you're watching on the replay, no problems at all. I'm finishing this song in the next sort of 3 days by the end of this month. So if you have ideas and if you have things that you want to contribute, then put them in the comments. So drop a comment. Now, if you do get value out of this also, I'd love it if you would hit the like button. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel and do all those good YouTube-related things. And you can also jump over to studiolivetoday.com. So that's my home on the web, and you can check out all of the videos. I've got over 400 tutorial videos about how to record and how to write songs and how to release your own music. So you can jump in and take a look around there. You can also join the mailing list while you're there, so you'll keep up to date with all the latest news and information. So let's jump in and take a look at what I'm doing today. So what I will be doing is I have a song that I am writing. Yes, I've gone old school. Can't see the words on the page. There you go. But there are words on that page. I've written those. I've typed them out just now. I've been working on the arrangement of this song, so I've got some ideas for some chords and things that I'll be working on, and I'll be sort of bringing it all together today. So I'll be jumping in. I'll show my screen here. We'll be having a look at the lyrics that I have. I'll be playing along. I have my guitar here ready to go. I'll be playing along, I'll be checking the lyrics, I'll be making some tweaks and adjustments, I'll be listening to your feedback as we go along and what you want to contribute, and if there's anything that you think we should do differently. And then at the end of this video, I will go away and start working on the recording process. So this song may sound familiar if you've been watching a few of the videos lately. I did this as my how to start a song. So I've actually already started and sort of started getting the ideas out for this song. At the moment, here it is on the iPad. It looks a bit like that in Garage. Oh, my iPad screen is really dirty. Looks like that. I've just got the drum beat. I've got a basic guitar chord pattern down. I've started working on the piano and I've started working on the bass. So the next phase will actually be to create the song, and I'll be doing that right here on the channel. I've had a few folks that have been asking for this. So Danny and Tim and a few of my regular folks here have said, Pete, we really want to see you actually record, do the whole process, and you know that would actually be hours. So I will edit those ones down. I won't subject you to a 3-hour guitar recording or 3-hour vocal recording session, unless that's what you want. In which case, let me know in the comments. Anyway, let us jump into this song now and take a look now that we've given you a bit of an overview of what we're doing here and what is going down. So the premise of this song is that it is part of a group that I'm part of called the SongSpark Songwriting Collaborative, which is a very cool group. And if you aren't a member, and if you're interested in that, then drop a comment and you can ask me a question. I'll send you a link. I'll send you along to the folks. So there's a bunch of John and Jason and the guys who run that group do a fantastic job. And each month they put out a SongSpark, and this month's SongSpark has a bunch of different things around the lyrics and things, which I won't go into all the details of because I've forgotten them off the top of my head. But the crux of it is we need to use 4 chords. So yes, we're writing a 4-chord song here. Now I've kind of cheated and I've used variations of 4 chords. So my chords are A minor, E minor, C and D, but I'm using all sorts of funky variations. So maybe that's cheating, maybe not, but doesn't matter. The whole idea of SongSpark is not to go exactly by the rules, but to give you a spark for an idea about a song. And the other part of this song was to include a bunch of sort of senses, so the touch, the smell, the sight, the sound, all those sort of things. So that's why you'll hear that in the lyrics, and you'll see that that's what we're going through as we go into this. So let me bring up my screen. I'll just say a quick g'day to the folks that are here live, who are kind enough to be here. Earthling, hello to you, a very fine supporter, and we've been having good chats in the comments. We've got Kurt Lorenz, we've got Goth Demon, wouldn't be a stream without Goth Demon. We've got Storm Plays, Kenneth Briggs, Darren Bryant, hello to you. And what do we, so we've got some questions already. So what do you start with? The lyrics, melody, chords, actually what was the inspiration, and then was it lyrics or melody or question mark? So yeah, very good questions. Let us jump in and start answering some of those now. We'll hit the screen share. Here we go. Here is my Microsoft OneNote where I store all of my life. As you can see, all of my song ideas, all of my video, everything is in here. So hopefully it will never not sync and it will always be available. So this song at the moment is called All of My Time. That's the working title of this one. So it's not set in stone. So if you've got an idea for the title of this song as we go through, you can let me know. Now the questions that we had there from Earthling was, how do I approach a song? So here is the how does Pete write a song, as I get off the mic a little bit. It's usually based around a chord progression. So this is one that's been kicking around for me for quite a while, which is, I'll just zoom out of that for a moment while we do this part. So the chord progression is it's an A minor variation and then down to an E minor. So really it's just A minor and then to E minor, but it just uses a bit of a walking bass note there with the. So that was the crux of it, and then I actually wrote the hook after that. So I had that idea, and then I'm like, okay, this has to have a hook. So I'll just find the lyrics. So so it goes here. So this is the chorus section, and this is I actually wrote this this passage of words, and I'm not absolutely married to it, but it's kind of the hook. So it's after we do this part, da, 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 and then it does a pre-chorus, which I'll play all this properly afterwards, but it's don't take all of my time, I don't have much left for you. So it goes to these sort of bar chords, not bar chords, but you know what I mean, just single strum. Don't take all of my time, I don't have much of it left for you. And then back to the sort of verse section. So that is what I wrote to start with. So I'll come back on mic for a moment. That is what I wrote to start with. And then what I'm working on at the moment is just bringing it all together. So as opposed to, I know a lot of folks will write lyrics, so they'll basically write a poem and then they'll be like, okay, how do I put this to music? I very rarely write that way. I'll usually have a chord progression because I'm primarily a guitarist, use the acoustic guitar more than anything else to songwrite. And then I will add in like a hook. I'll try to find something that's going to be the premise, and that will give me a few words. And then the rest of the song kind of evolves around that. So the premise of this song here is, as you would have heard there, don't take all of my time, I don't have much left for you, so don't take all of my time, I don't have much left of it for you. So a simple premise there, and this is the story, the character, so sort of two characters here. One is someone who's dealing with issues, not non-specifics, let's call it depression, alcoholism, I don't know, whatever you want it to be, and then the other person is actually talking to them and having a conversation about that. Now it might sound a bit harsh at the start here, so what it's basically going through is, I guess, the frustration that folks have when they're trying to help someone and then that person is kind of self-destructing. So they're saying, yeah, I'm doing it, I'm trying, I'm doing the best I can, and then they're letting them down. So I guess there's no sort of winner-loser here. It's kind of one person that's struggling and they're trying, but they're unable to get it, and then another person that's getting so frustrated because they're seeing this person fail and fail again, even though that they seem to be trying. So that's the premise of the song as we go through and as we have a look at all the lyrics that I've got so far. But what I like to do, so here's the start of this. So I've got my intro and verse. So this is as basic as I kind of get. So I don't write out sort of complicated charts here. But what I'll tend to do is I'll grab everything that I have here. So A minor to E minor is my intro and verse. My pre-chorus is going to be the C to D. And my chorus is going to be the A minor, E minor, D, C. And then the bridge is C and D. So what I need to do now is actually work out the arrangement. So arrangement is super important because if you just think in terms of verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, verse, chorus, whatever it is, then you need to make sure that it's kept interesting, that it doesn't take too long to get to the hook is probably my number one thing that I like to do, and that it doesn't drag on. There's nothing that's going to be so, I guess, consistent that it becomes boring. What variation can we introduce? So this one will be sort of how do I get the arrangement going, and then I'm going to sort of start as I go along. I'll think of ideas of things I should add in, and you can throw out ideas for what instruments should go in to what sections as we go through. So let's just jump back here. I'll just see if we got any other questions here before we get started. Cool. Oh, yes, we've got Carlito, Soul Rack, hello to you too. And Lit Nemo, send me a song link, please. Well, this song's not actually finished yet, so I'll send you a link when I'm there. If you want to check out some of my tunes, go to petejohns.com and you can check out my most recent album there. So let us jump back in here now. And we'll go back to what we've got. So let's go to the start. The intro is going to be this through. So what I need to do is work out how many, so I'm going to sort of basically plot out the song here now. So the intro and verse here, we need to know how many bars that we're going to have. So when we start the song, so it's going to be in 6/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think it's going to do that twice. So I think my actual intro before my lyrics is going to be 2 times through. And I'm picturing a bass doing a bit of this as well. And the drum's doing a bit of a do 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 do. So that's sort of what we're going to get with the intro. So I like to do it like this. I'm going to go 8 is my intro, and then we jump in, and the intro is going to be the A minor, E minor that we have there, just to remind myself. And this is how I sort of chart it out now. There's no right or wrong way to do this. My way is very unique. A lot of people will actually have like a chart or a grid, or they'll put the actual like they'll use a Nashville numbers system, so they'll just go, this is chord number 1, 4, 5, based on the progression, etc. But this is my way to do it. So my intro is going to be like that, and then let's jump in and work out when we start. So this is the first verse. It goes like this, and again, got ideas, throw them in the comments. The smell of frustration, the sound of your voice, the feeling I've been here before. So that's going to be 8 bars in there. So again, this is just me plotting it out. Whoops, we'll do it a bit differently. 8, which is going to be verse 1, and then we go into our pre-chorus, which is just going to be, I think 4 bars. Let's just find out. So, if silence is golden, why are you loud? 1, 2, 3. Yep, so that's 4. So we've got our pre-chorus at 4, and yeah, I know this is this isn't going to be super riveting for a few moments while we get this set up, but it is important to get this, and you'll get a bit of a sneak peek at the song as we go, and it won't take too long once we get through. So while I'm doing this, let's just pause and say, why would you do this? So why should you do this? Why should you record something like this? So just what I do here is obviously live and folks can watch along, but I do this as much for me as I do for you, because when I'm writing a song, I write bits and then I forget why I wrote them, or I forget a particular way I played something. If you've actually got a recording of yourself with your songwriting session, then you can actually go back and say, oh, what did I do there? So this is a technique that I use a lot, even when I'm not putting it out to the public. I'll just set my camera up on my smartphone, put it on myself, start writing, and then have a notepad or have something open like this at the same time. If you've got a PC or a Mac, you can use OBS and do exactly what I'm doing here. So have your screen recorder going, you can have everything set up here and be doing the same sort of thing. So it works well for me, and yeah, give it a go. So we'll go to our chorus now. So our chorus is down to here, and it's this one. It's don't take all of my time, I don't have much left for you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be another 8. So don't take all of my time. 7. Da, da, da. Yep. So it's going to be 8. So this is going to be a pretty simple sort of pattern that we're going to get here. So we're going to have 8 bars there of our 6/8 time, which is going to be our chorus 1. And I always put chorus 1, verse 1, etc. So I don't ever put repeat chorus. I always plot it all out because like you get really confused with things like repeat chorus. So there we go. We are at our chorus now. Now, the second time around, it does very similarly. In fact, it does exactly the same. So we need to work out how much time is between these two. So we're going to return to... So I think we can only get away with one in there in our sort of our interlude. So we'll put four bars of that. And this is going to be just put interlude. I'm sure there's a word for an in-between part between a chorus and a verse. It's not a bridge. It's not a yeah, I don't know. I just put interlude because that's what I call it. All right. And then we go into verse 2, which is this one here. I know that you're hurting. I hear what you say, but we've been down this road and you threw it away. Time to consider. Scroll down. Others can hurt too. Don't take. So yeah, it's exactly the same the second time around. So we got what we had here. We had our verse, and then we had our pre-chorus, and then we go into our chorus. So we're just going to replace our twos, our ones with twos. And the beauty part of doing this is that when I then go to set up my project in GarageBand or whatever DAW you use, you've then got how many bars. So you can get your sections set up just like this. So you can just go in here, add your sections, duplicate them, and I'll be showing that in a future video where we'll go through the actual recording process. So let's come down to where we are. So don't take all my times. So this time we do a double chorus. So you can see here I've got 2 sets there. So the chorus this time, after I've just said it's going to be the same, it's actually going to be 16 bars for the chorus 2, because then we lead into our bridge, which is actually going to be a musical interlude that's going to give us a bit of a... And it's going to be 8 bars, because we're going to go the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Yep, and then we go into our final chorus that will also be a 16. All right, so that should be pretty easy. So we just need to come back here and we go 8 bars for our bridge. And then we got 16 bars, which will be chorus 3. And I've made life difficult for myself because I started changing all the lyrics for the chorus because I wanted to, a lot of my songs are very much story writing, storytelling, I should say. So if we come down here, sorry, I'm scrolling around a lot. I will try to keep things a little bit more steady. So don't take all my time. I don't have much time for you. Don't take all my time. I don't have much of it left. And then in the second time, it's got, I don't have much of it left for you. Say you're trying this time. And things will be different, you'll see. But I've heard this all before. Actions speak louder to me. And then we go to our bridge, which I'm thinking a solo instrument needs to go here, like organ solo, or maybe electric piano, just playing some like nice mellow sort of high chords or something. And then we finish off by going back to our, and this is where I think it'll go back to just solo guitar with a bit of like a real sort of crescendo, and then don't spend all of your time. Maybe we slow down here. So maybe we drop the tempo. That's going to make it challenging in GarageBand, but hey, then we'll get to show you how to do a tempo change in GarageBand. Don't spend all of your time thinking of what you did wrong, and don't just throw in the towel. You'll find a way to belong, and don't waste. Oh, I just sorry, I sang too loud there. I'm just going to turn my volume down while I do this. Sorry, I don't want to clip the signal. And don't waste all of your time. Oh, don't waste all of your time thinking of what happens now. Just live one day at a time. That's all the time will allow. And then I haven't quite worked out how to finish it, but it's probably going to finish with a similar to the bridge. For you, for you, for you, for you. Or maybe that's a bad chord to finish on. You. No. Okay, so you need to help me work out how to finish that off, because I'm not quite sure how to end it all at the end there. But let's come back to our progression and make sure they got everything. So we got 16 bars of our chorus 3, which is what we had down here. So after our bridge, we've got our 16 bars, and then we go back to a bridge for an outro. So what we'll do is we'll put in here that the outro, which will be 8 bars for our outro. So what have we got here? We ended up, I'm going to have to do some quick mathematics and addition. So we've got 16, 20, 28, 32, 40, 44, 60, 68, 68, and this is really testing me now. It's 76. No one told me there'd be mathematics. 76, 92 if my calculations are correct. So I think we're going to have a 92 bars in total of 6/8. And as we go through here, so the intro, the verse, and this is where I can start adding in. So our verses are going to be, yeah, so that's the same. So A minor, E minor for the intro and for the verse. And I'll finish most of this later. And then the pre-chorus is going to be C, D. And then the chorus is going to be our little progression here, which is going to be this one. So again, for a song with 4 chords, it can be a little bit challenging, but it's actually kind of fun to do things like this where you're limited to a certain amount of things that you can do. And I probably would have tried to write the bridge with a bunch of other funky stuff if I didn't have that limitation of the 4 chords, but I kind of like that I have to be a little bit more creative and use just the 4 chords. So that's where we're at the moment. Now let's talk a little bit. I'll jump back over and see if we've got questions or comments, and then we'll jump into the actual lyrics. And I'll give you a bit of an overview of how I wrote those and why I wrote them, and what the sort of story is. And then again, I'd love any comments that you may have. Alrighty. Let's have a look. So, how do you get inspiration for lyrics is a good question. This is from Storm Plays. Hello to you. Inspiration for lyrics is a hard one. If I have a thing like this where I've got an idea, so this is why I love SongSpark, because that kind of gives you the inspiration. Most of my inspiration for my lyrics for singer-songwriter type songs comes from experience, and comes from people, and comes from, I kind of build a character. So I like to, again, tell a story. So I build a character that's not necessarily a person or an individual person, but I kind of give them a backstory, and then I write a song about the situation that they're in. So I've written songs like Anxiety, which was about, the character in that, which was slightly autobiographical, but was also sort of a little bit more expansive, was someone who was struggling with anxiety. So how does it feel to have anxiety, to have a panic attack, and then to try and overcome that? In this song, my inspiration is coming from, folks who are struggling with addiction, with problems that they're having. Again, I'm not specific because it can relate to anything that you may think of. And then also, the other character in this one is the people that have to try and help them, and that feeling of hopelessness when you are trying to help someone again and again, and what that goes through. So yeah, that's my inspiration, is to get characters, and then I gravitate around what the situation is and what's happening. And now that's not for all songs, obviously. She Loves Me, yeah. They didn't sit down and go, the one character is a girl who really loves me, and the other character is me who is loved. Like, some don't need that level of depth, but for a folk song, for a singer-songwriter songs that are going to tell a story, they're the sort of things that I jump in and that I do. But great question. And question here from Earthling is, what key is that? So I believe, I'm not the best when it comes to music, but I think it is actually in E minor, mostly, because E minor, A minor is there, and then we've got the C and the D. So yes, it's in G or E minor would be my guess. That's what I put in GarageBand anyway. But yes, I didn't do so good with my theory back in music school. So Solaric, sorry, I keep saying Solaric. I would like to do a remix of any of your song. Remember you said you were going to do something like that? It would be nice. Yeah, I did say I was going to do something like that, and I've been meaning to. I do have all of the tracks from my recent album, and I've got all of the GarageBand projects, and I don't have the stems saved out, but I've got GarageBand projects projects. So yeah, that might be something to do cool after we do this one, which is go and grab one of my more complex sort of songs and hand over the tracks and the GarageBand projects to you folks, and you can remix and play around with them. Already I hear something like a string quartet with that, perhaps cellos and violins and viola. Yeah, I'm hearing the same, and this is the challenge. And I think it was you I was chatting with during the week, Earthling. I was talking about using virtual instruments versus real instruments, and yeah, I would love to. I can hear a string quartet too. I can hear some really nice cellos and violins on this. But the question is, if I add them in using the virtual strings, is that going to sound? Is it going to make it sound better, or is it going to make it sound worse? I'm not sure. But yeah, I can definitely hear a string section in here, so thank you for that. I feel like you could really use some brass too in this song, in addition to a string quartet. Yeah, I actually, that's a great idea as well, man. I'm very glad I'm doing this now, because this is getting me some great ideas. I'm going to start noting these down, actually. I'm going to go back to my notepad here. I'm going to put here, so ideas from viewers. So we've got string section, and I'm going to say who actually gave me the ideas, otherwise I'll forget. And brass. Yeah, I really like the idea of some brass in there. So Storm plays, well done. So you're going to hear clickety, clickety, click. Yeah, so I like that. Yeah, soft brass in the chorus. So yeah, like a sort of a complementary melody with like a French horn. What do you reckon? Yeah, I'm going to put that in here. So we've got something like a complementary melody in chorus with French horn. I think that could sound amazing. I might have to buy the ice symphonic app to get this done. I've been meaning to buy it for a while, but it's reasonably expensive. But yeah, I've been meaning to play around with some more sounds like that. So that might be a good idea there. Yep, so the chatting, yep, that would be nice. I can hear it in my head already. Yeah, well, hopefully it sounds something like what there. So the bridge, woodwind melody with strings. Yeah, yes, okay. So that was when I asked for the ideas for the bridge. So we'll take it to the bridge, string with woodwind. Yeah, so it's weird because I had this in my head when I wrote this song, and I get caught up because I kind of overcomplicate things, but I think this might be a track that actually needs that, because the guitar is good, but it's not that strong on its own, and it's actually really hard to play. So I need some other sounds to pad it out, and also to help disguise my bad fingerstyle guitar. Alrighty. Could you send me the unfinished project to try and add some brass? If you want to play around with the project, I'll start recording. Maybe that's what I can do as we go along here. I have to be careful. I'm going to have to give like 10 different people songwriting credits on here. Yeah, that's all right. So we've got Soul Rack. If you're going to add some strings or violins, download iSymphonic. There you go, snap. There are so many strings in there, and they are so good. I think I'm going to have to. I can imagine a piano or guitar solo. So this is Omar Torres. Hello to you, Omar. Good to see you here. A piano or guitar solo. I'm putting that in my ideas bucket. I think there might be part 2 of this video, which are going to be Pete tries out suggestions from viewers. So piano or guitar solo. Yeah, I was thinking a guitar solo. I'm actually really bad at acoustic guitar solos. And actually, I'll throw this question out. Does this song need electric guitars? So it's obviously we're not going to put some crunchy distortion or anything over the top here, but I'm wondering if we have like a background of sort of just some bring with like a nice mellow, delayed, reverberant kind of guitar strums. Let me know. It's not jumping out at me as something that I need, but yeah. And then maybe like in that bridge part, maybe a guitar solo with just like a electric guitar, but a mellow one, like a do 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 do. Like think old Simon and Garfunkel, where they were acoustic songs, but sometimes they would bring in like an electric guitar just to sort of play a melody line or a lead guitar part. So let me know what you think of that, because some great ideas here. So thank you for the folks who are here live. Now, once again, if you are watching this on the replay, I do want to hear your ideas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the song through for you in a moment, and that will hopefully give you an idea of what the song is and how it's going to sound, and then you can let me know your ideas for what we should put in here, and any lyric ideas would be good too. I know it's tough on the fly for the folks here live to look at the lyrics, but I'll post the current lyrics in the description of this video afterwards. So for those watching on the live here, you can go and review the lyrics, and you can let me know what you think and any suggestions in the comments as well. So let me have a quick drink. And what I'll do is I will go ahead and play this track. I'll come here to my actual lyrics. I'm going to have to zoom them out a bit so that I can get most of them here. All right, let's jump over to there. All right, so these are going to be really small, so you're probably not going to be able to see them anyway. Yeah, well, how am I going to do this? What I'll do is I reckon if we chop these, if we cut that there, and the power of moving stuff, we can pop them over here. Oh, up there. I know. Yes, you're spending your time watching a man scrolling around on a screen. But that's right, we'll get there. Okay, so I think this is going to work now. I think we should be able to zoom those suckers in and get most of them on the screen in a way that we're all going to be able to see them. All right, cool. Now, I don't have my chords on here, so hopefully I remember the chords as we play along. But here we go. This is the acoustic guitar and vocal rendition of my new song called All of My Time. I had to scroll up to remember what it was called. So I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit on here. Should I add should I add a little reverb to it? Will that sound really bad? I'll put a little tiny touch on there. I don't know. I always like to have reverb when I'm recording guitar and vocal. I'll turn this down a little bit just so that I'm not going to clip, and then I will play this track. Smell of frustration, the sound of your voice, the feeling I've been here before. If silence is golden, then why are you loud? Don't take all of my time, I don't have much left for you. So don't take all of my time, I don't have much of it left for you. I know that you're hurting, I hear what you say, but we've been down this road and you threw it away. Time to consider, others can hurt too. Don't take all of my time, I don't have much left for you. So don't take all of my time, I don't have much of it left for you. Say you're trying this time, things will be different, you see. But I've seen, heard all this before. Actions speak louder to me. Yeah, I like the soft brass here. And maybe some strings and some cellos. Yeah, just sort of bringing it down to like a nice mellow crescendo and just like, don't spend all of your time thinking of what you did wrong, and don't just throw in the towel, you'll find a way to belong. Bring it all back up. Don't waste all of your time thinking of what happens now. Just live one day at a time, that's all the time will allow for you, for you, for you, for you. Maybe it finishes on that variation of the because I don't really want to resolve it back to a G or a D. It kind of just leaves it hanging at the end there, so that might be where we go. All right, I'll come back in. I'll turn myself back up a little bit there. So what do you reckon? What should we do with this? So as I went through there, I was giving you some ideas, and some of the ideas that you'd already had, I was talking to them. So here's the idea of the structure. So the opening here, we've got the intro, which is going to be guitar, bass. I think that'll be pretty minimalist. Guitar, bass, drums, maybe piano. That's the other thing. I did play with a piano part, which I'll take a look at in the next video. But if you've got ideas on that, let me know. And then going into the sort of the pre-chorus, and then yes, the chorus. I like the idea of having some strings and some brass behind there. I think it could sound quite nice, and then that'd actually build into, for the second verse, we can actually bring in sort of some soft brass or strings behind it. So because we need, the key thing between your verses is, if we go back to my structure here, this could be a pretty boring structure because intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then interlude, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then bridge. So we need to make sure that this section, we've done one thing here, we've doubled the length of the chorus and added sort of some variation to the lyrics and the melody there, but we also need to change up something here. So what is verse 2 going to have that verse 1 doesn't, or vice versa? So I think verse 2, after the chorus where we bring in and introduce some of the new instruments, we need to keep them, but just buried in verse 2. So just some pads, so some long, like some string pads behind the verse with the do-do-do-do-do-do. So just to complement that. And then coming into chorus, verse 2, coming into chorus 2, we just probably need to bring up, and this might be a little bit wanky, sorry, but I'm almost thinking like a sort of a boom, a big timpani drum sort of thing, like just some effects, some orchestral, and again, I'm throwing myself way out of where I need to be because I want to finish this in a few days' time, but yeah, just sort of like a big sort of some sort of effect or some sort of riser that goes in there, but a natural kind of riser. So sort of like even just a tom roll or something going into that, just to add some flavor. The bridge, yeah, I like the idea of some sort of solo. So maybe that's where I just sort of bring in a nice reverberant guitar, like an electric guitar that's only in the bridge, that just sort of comes in. Yep, like that. Yeah, maybe I'll try something like that. And then, yeah, into the chorus. So we just really need to crescendo, like the last chorus, this section here with the last chorus, it's obviously it starts. So after the bridge, we drop right off. So the first 8 bars of that are going to be really minimalist. And then we're going to bring it right back. So it's got that contrast between the sections really needs to be there, because it's really easy. Well, it's not really easy, but it's easier to write a song when things are consistent, because you don't have to change anything and you can use your cut, your copy, your paste. But I think it was Earthling or others that I was chatting about this during the week. Yeah, I don't think that using virtual instruments and loops and samples is necessarily bad or is necessarily cheating, but it is something that I think if you don't change them and if you don't vary things, you can end up with a pretty boring song. So that's what I'm trying to avoid here. So hopefully we can get that happening. All right, just checking. How are we going for time here? Just see if this message is not something urgent. No, it is very much not. Alrighty, let's jump back over and have a quick chat to the folks here and see what we've got to say. So, electric guitar could be good. Even if it's just clean guitar, it would add a nice effect. Yeah, I think so. What about a clean electric, but with chords coming in with volume swells? Like, yeah, something like that would be really cool. The feeling I've been here and seen it before. The feeling I've been here and seen it before. Oh, I like that line. Is that a line instead of one of these? Sorry, I realised that I've still got you up there and I'm displaying the chat there. So which line is that one? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find, because that was a good idea. The feeling. I can't find my own lyrics. I like it anyway. I'll come back and review afterwards to take a look at that. But no, very cool. Hi, Pete. Hello, Olivier. Is it possible to change the tempo between sections? Okay, the song in GarageBand. Pura vida to you, Olivier, from my friend from Costa Rica. Great to have you on board. So is it possible to change the tempo between sections? It is not. So but I kind of want to. So I wouldn't mind actually slowing down that section. So there's a couple of ways to do that. Actually, the only real way to do that, if you're going to actually slow and increase, is to use two different entire projects in GarageBand and then stitch them together. So you have to hit the point where you're going to change and then create a new project with all the same tracks and then record it in there. And then if you're going to go back to the other one, you kind of need a third track. So maybe I'll do it, but maybe I'll put it in the too hard basket this time around. We'll see how we go. But yeah, unfortunately, it's one of the few things you can in GarageBand on Mac. You can actually change tempos and you can have varying tempos. You can't do it in iOS unless the way to do it would be to go completely off the grid. So when you do your tempo change, just ignore the metronome and then do it completely manually. But because I use virtual drums and things, it's going to get tricky. I actually went completely off the grid with a recent cover I did, the Final Countdown. I just went, nah, I don't want this to be on the grid. I want this to be completely metronome free. So that is another option we have there. Nova Cascade, hello to you. Thank you for coming along and thanks for your support. Drop can from Others Can Hurt Too. Others Hurt Too. Others Can Hurt Too. Let's find that. Others hurt too. Time to consider others hurt too. Yeah, like that. Others can hurt too. Yeah, consider others hurt too. Yep, perfect. Love it. There you go. I'm going to have to writing credits left and right here. Jeremy Ray Williams, hello to you. Welcome along. We're nearly towards the end of this, but yeah, if you missed out on some of this, catch up on the replay if you want to see how I put this song together and listen to a version of it. All suggestions. How about no drums in the first verse, just guitar, bass, and string quartet, then bring the drums in? Oh, I like that. I like that idea a lot. Let's come up here to my ideas from viewers. So we're going to have no drums at the start in verse 1. Bring in either the chorus or verse 2, I reckon. That's a possibility. We'll play with that when we do our arrangement. Alrighty. Just a slight change in the first verse. Yeah, that might have been what I was talking about before. What is the tempo? Good question. So let's jump into GarageBand. The tempo that I had set for this to start with was 80 beats per minute, which sounds a bit like this. Oh, the volume's not up. Which is like... Oops, no, it's not. That's not it. It's this. So, yeah, you're hearing it through my iPad speaker. And what I actually did, I used the autoplay. In the last video I did, you might have seen it, I used the autoplay on the piano, which sounded like... which I actually kind of like. Like, I wouldn't use the autoplay, I'd play it in myself, but something like that with an arpeggiated, like, do. So I don't know if it's going to be a piano, or maybe that's just going to be a good idea for the sort of sounds that the strings or horns or something will play. But yeah, I'm probably going to steal some of the ideas there from the autoplay that we had on that piano. So yes, good question there. That's my tempo there. Alex, hello. It is 3 a.m. over here and I've just got off the plane. Looks like night flights are the only reason I could watch your live streams. Yes, look, I know that I don't always do live streams at the most opportune times for everyone in the world. However, I'm varying it up. So I'm going to do a few. These are in the morning. I usually do them in the morning, my time, because that's when I have the house to myself mostly and I can actually record these, and people aren't watching Netflix and therefore I can actually have decent internet. So we don't have dropouts and things. It's so funny. I can do this now at what is 10:44 a.m. my time. If I was doing this at 9 p.m, then the network would be so congested with everyone watching Netflix and all the rest of it that, yeah, my speeds would be significantly reduced. But that is neither here nor there and not related to writing songs. So we are coming to the end of the video here. So let's just recap and review what we've been through and what we've talked about here. So I talked about the importance of doing something like this. And I don't want to sort of understate that, is that if you're not doing this, if you're not recording your own songwriting sessions, give it a try. You can only not like it and never want to do it again. But if you've never tried doing it, give it a shot, because it does work and it is good. Like I will literally sit down and review this video. I'll be doing my arranging over the next few days, and I'll refer back to this video and the comments I got and what I said and what I played and what's in the lyrics, because it's just a good way to go, because your brain's not designed for long-term memory storage of everything. If you can have like an external brain, like if you use video or if you use notes or if you use whatever as your external brain, it's going to actually help you remember things. We then looked at the chords that I'm using here, using only 4 chords here, and then I put together my version of a chord chart, which is really more of my template for GarageBand. So what I can do now is I can take all of those different sections, and if you want a reminder of what they were this one here. I can take these sections here, and now I can program them into my sections section. That's a lot of sections into GarageBand, so that we can actually have that set up. If you're using any other DAW, the same sort of deal. So it doesn't mean we're locked down to that. We can then move these around, but at least I now know what my song structure is kind of going to be like. And then I can actually lay down some guide tracks, which is what I'm going to do shortly. Once I finish on this video, I'll be doing some more recording and some more laying down some guide tracks. And then over the coming days, what I'll be doing is recording all of these parts, and I'll do a few more videos. So let me know, do you like the live videos? Would you prefer a nice edited down 10-minute or 15-minute video, or do you like seeing this live? I'll probably do a combination of the two over the next week, just so that I can get this song done. But it is motivating for me to have folks on board giving me ideas and reinforcement of what's working, what's not, and it gets me happening. Like I would have got distracted by now and seen something shiny over there that I had to pick up, or started playing cover songs or doing something else completely random by now. But locking myself away and doing this and having the accountability of folks watching along is really good. So that is where we're at, and that is where we're going from here. I hope you did enjoy this and got a little bit of value from it. If you did, I would love it if you would share this, hit the like button, do the subscribes, do all the other things that folks do. You can also head over to studiolivetoday.com to catch up with all the latest. I've just kicked off a mailing list over there, so if you're not on the mailing list, then jump on board. Folks here are talking about how late it is in their part of the world, so I'm really glad for those that are here live. I really do appreciate that. So thank you once again. Enjoy your day. Get some sleep if it is crazy hours of the middle of the night, and I'll see you folks on the next video. Cheers.